What's the worst wedding drama you've seen? I was working as a photographer at this fancy outdoor wedding when the groom's ex-girlfriend showed up in a wedding dress. Not white, the exact same dress as the bride. Down to every detail, including the shoes and jewelry. She walked right down the aisle during the ceremony like she belonged there. Everyone turned around gasping. The bride's mother dropped her bouquet and grabbed her husband's arm. The officiant stopped mid-sentence, mouth hanging open. The bride looked absolutely mortified, her face going pale. But the groom? He started laughing, hard, like this was the funniest prank ever. "Oh my God, Rachel, you actually did it," he said, grinning at his ex like this was some elaborate joke they'd planned. The bride whispered, "What is happening right now?" but loud enough for the front rows to hear. Her voice was shaking with confusion. Turns out this was all planned. The groom had been texting his ex for months, telling her his fiancé was boring and he missed their crazy adventures. He dared Rachel to crash the wedding to prove she still loved him. Rachel strutted up to the altar in her identical dress and said, "Sorry, I'm late, honey. Traffic was terrible on the highway." Then she tried to take the bride's bouquet right out of her hands. The bride's dad stood up from the front row looking furious. "What the hell is going on here? Who is this woman?" The groom was still chuckling. "Dad, meet Rachel. She wanted to join our special day." But here's the twist. The bride knew everything. She'd found the text weeks ago and hired a private investigator to get proof. She'd been planning this moment for 3 weeks, playing the perfect unsuspecting fiancé. "Since you both want to make a scene in front of my family," the bride announced loudly, pulling out her phone, "let me help you out." She started reading the groom's text out loud to the entire wedding. Messages about how he was only marrying her for her dad's construction business, how he called her maid of honor fat and her friends ugly, how he was planning to hook up with fraternity buddies during their honeymoon. Here's my favorite text. The bride continued, quote, "She's so stupid she'll never figure this out. I'll milk this marriage for a few years, then divorce her and take half of everything." The wedding guests went silent except for someone's aunt who said, "Oh hell no." The bride's father, who owned the biggest construction company in 3 counties, stood up slowly. His face was red. "That's my daughter and my life's work you're talking about, son." 3 of her brothers, all built like linebackers from construction work, started rolling up their sleeves and walking toward the altar. The groom finally realized he was in trouble. "Wait, I can explain all of this." "Explain what exactly?" The bride's mom chimed in. "How you've been planning to rob our family." Rachel suddenly looked less confident. "I didn't know about this. He told me you were cheating with your personal trainer." "Rachel, sweetie," the bride said with fake sympathy, "check your phone. I forwarded you all his messages about you too. He called you desperate and said sleeping with you meant nothing." Rachel's face went white as she looked at her phone. "You said I was pathetic? That sleeping with me was charity work?" Now the groom had 2 furious women and an entire construction crew family ready to destroy him. "This is completely insane," he stammered, backing away. "You're all acting crazy." The bride's youngest brother cracked his knuckles. "What did you just call my sister?" The groom and Rachel ran for the parking lot while 200 guests watched in stunned silence. But the bride wasn't finished. She grabbed the microphone from the shocked officiant. "Bar's still open, everyone. DJ, play some music. Let's celebrate me dodging the biggest bullet of my life." The crowd erupted in cheers. Her dad hugged her and whispered, "I'm proud of you for figuring this out. Best wedding reception ever. And I got the most insane photos for my portfolio."